Hello, can everyone hear me? Just give me a thumbs up, please. Hi, welcome to the meeting.
Hi Karthik, yes, you're audible.
Hi, Shubham, how are you?
I'm all good.
Very nice, very nice. So I'm just preparing to live stream on YouTube. So just
Sure.
give me a couple of minutes while I set that up. Yeah, I think that's working. All right, people, I'm going to share my screen so that, we can get that Slido thing started. Okay, can everyone see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to just put up an introduction kind of slide there. So let's do that. I'm trying to show the polls. Okay, fine. I would be grateful if people who've joined the Zoom Hangout can just scan this QR code and just, in one or two sentences, just tell me what you do. I think we'll have a few other people signing up as well. Last I checked, we had about 15 or 16 signups, and usually, about a third of the people who sign up attend. So we may have a few more people joining us in maybe 5-10 minutes, but we'll get started. Okay. As you are typing your introduction, let me give an introduction for myself as well. First of all, welcome to the Zoom Hangout, everyone. We are also live on YouTube. About myself and my company. My name is Karthik August. I'm an alumnus of IIT Madras and Stanford University. And I'm here because I've been running August Academy for the last 10 years. So January 2013 is when we started. So we just completed 10 years this January. And, it's been a long journey. It's been a very fulfilling, satisfying, motivating, and rewarding journey as well. And the best thing is we've been able to help several Indian candidates get into programs ranked within the top 20 across the world. So if we are looking at the US, we've had people getting into Harvard, we've had people getting into Chicago Booth, Kellogg, MIT, Dartmouth, Columbia, pretty much every school in the top 10 except maybe Stanford and Wharton. At Stanford and Wharton, we've not had a lot of applications, but we've definitely for the 2 or 3 applications that we've put in over the last 4 or 5 years, we've probably had 1 or 2 interviews, and it just didn't convert beyond that. So, but except for Stanford and Wharton, we've had admits into every one of the top 10. In Europe, we've had people getting into every top school, including London Business School, INSEAD, IMD, HEC Paris, IESA, and INSEAD, right? And within India, of course, we have about 4 or 5 people at the minimum getting into ISB every year. And in Singapore, we've had people getting into NUS and NTU, right? HKUST and SEEBs as well. So pretty much any geography you can think of, our students are there in some of the top schools. In terms of scholarships, I have not done a count for the last admissions year, but on average, we are getting more than $1.5 million in scholarships every year. So if you're looking at it, around 7 to 10 CR worth of scholarships every year. So we are a very small company. We hardly work with around 30 candidates a year. And we've managed to deliver good results for the candidates that we work with. So that's a very short introduction. Now I am going to read through your introductions. So the first person to submit, I'm a chartered accountant working in my family business of education, an autonomous engineering college with 4,000 students, and construction with more than 1 lakh square feet of residential built-up area under work in progress. Welcome to our call. Then we have Mansi submitting an introduction. Hi, Mansi. I have a work experience of 7 years, 6 years as a TV journalist. Wow, that's pretty impressive. And 1 year in corporate communications. My GRE is 317 in first attempt. TOEFL is 108. I want to get into Ross and will be attempting the GRE again this month. Thank you, Mansi. I thought there was somebody else typing their introduction. Just press enter. Yeah. I work on transforming the multi-million commerce ecosystem consisting of different SaaS services by working closely with product managers, digital transformation team for making the lives of partners and end customers easier and seamless. Okay, thank you so much. Hardik, is that you?
No, this is me, Shubham.
Okay, hi Shubham. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Welcome to our call. Okay, so I'm probably going to move to the next stage of our meeting. So at this point, I have Shubham, Tanveer, Mansi, Hardik, and Harshit. Welcome to our call, everyone. And let's do a different kind of poll. So it's just like anonymous and you just have to click on something. Do you guys... I think Mansi would belong to category 1 or maybe category 3, right? The rest, please let me know. Okay, so...
Hello,
Hardik, yes.
yeah, sorry, I've logged in through phone. I'm sorry to just I couldn't type as of now.
Okay.
Okay, so you have read about the others work experience. So I just want to pitch in mine as well.
Yes, please. Yes.
I'm an army officer, and
Okay.
I have put in over a decade of service. And prior to joining the army, I have worked as a software engineer also,
Okay.
and did my undergrad back in 2011, and
Okay.
would be retiring this September. So
Okay.
a brief about me. I just wanted to pitch in as I could not have typed otherwise. It's
That's
raining
fine.
pretty heavy out here.
No, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for the introduction, Hardik. Welcome to our call. And definitely a lot of respect and love for our armed forces officers. So thank you so much for your service. In terms of GMAT, it's roughly half and half, I guess. So some people are done with their GMAT targeting round 1, and some people are not done with their GMAT, but still targeting round 1. So that's great. That's fantastic. Okay. And this one is just, what is your last recorded GMAT? Sorry to make it about GMAT. I mean, we will get into a Q&A in a minute or so. But if you guys want to just give me like a broad spectrum of where you are. So someone in the 700 to 710 range. Okay, thank you. I know that only 2 or 3 people are done with their GMAT. So, all right. Okay, let's move on to Q&A now. So, we'll use Slido for the Q&A. And you can scan the QR and type in your answer, your question. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is just go to slido.com, #2721622, and then type in your question. Okay. So let me, Shubham, I've put up your questions first. Do you want to start out by a brief introduction, and then maybe we can look at what questions you've asked?
Yeah, sure, Karthik. So hi everyone, I'm Shubham. So I've been working with VMware since past 4 years. It's been like I started with VMware as a summer intern and then subsequently joined as a full-time. So in VMware, I've been working on a product called as VMware Cloud as a software developer, which involves mainly working as a backend developer and so on. And throughout these 4 years, I've got chance to talk to many people in and out of the team, and also product managers and so on. And also I was part of various forums such as leadership forums, alumni forum, and also I was invited in the leadership circle, which is a very cohorted forum. Only distinguished alumni of different colleges are invited. So as part of the alumni team, which is also very selective, so I got a chance to deliver different sessions on blockchain and so on, which impacted the lives of many students. And I also filed patent as part of my VMware journey with VMware, got patent award and so on. and also recently got invited as a mentor in a international hackathon named as UNESCO India Africa Hackathon. So got the chance to meet and talk to many people and students across the globe. So there were around 26 countries representation, and there were students across all of them, mainly from African uh, continent and Indian subcontinent. And apart from that, I was also invited in my college days by Government of India for digitalizing the inflation rate project along with my team. So it was a subsequent result of coming as first runner-up in Smart India Hackathon. And along with that, I'm much passionate about EdTech, health tech, and agri-tech. So I've been working on various initiatives and volunteering, such as working with NGO called as MAD in the space of EdTech, and also leading a team of 15 during the COVID second wave crisis. So it started just as a passion project for helping the people out there, and then subsequently got uh, impacted hundreds of lives for betterment of people out there.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah. Were you saying something else, Shubham?
no, I think I uh, completed most of part of it. So my
Okay.
major goals post MBA is pursuing product management and impact consulting. And
Mhm.
for the same, I took the step in VMware also, and also um, I pursued a recently course with Wharton online
Mhm.
of product management and strategy.
Okay. Okay. All right. So sounds good. If I were to summarize, Shubham, you graduated as an engineer. You have about 4 years of work experience at this point,
Yeah.
and a lot of very good technology experience. You've done very well at work, including some experience with innovation. And outside of work, you've contributed a lot in the nonprofit development kind of sectors. You
Yes.
have particular interest in education and healthcare, and there's some collaborations with leading nonprofits and some engagements with the government of India and UNESCO as well. Is that an apt
Correct.
summary? Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
All
Correct.
right. Now, your first question is, what should be my application strategy? Should I apply to all colleges in round one or split them between round one and round two? Can you clarify that? What is the context of this question?
Yeah, so I gave my GMAT in month of May, and I scored around 700 out of 800.
Okay.
And I'm in process to give it again and score
Okay.
around 740, 750. One of the reason being to increase my chances in top
Mhm.
US colleges and
Mhm.
also target that scholarships.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask if should I apply with the current score to few of the schools in round one, and uh, like in case the GMAT gets delayed, right? I am planning to give GMAT very soon, as soon as possible, but
Mhm.
we'll be giving only when that score gets reflected in the mocks. So I wanted to
Okay.
ask how should be
Okay.
the application strategy? Yeah,
So your last
because
GMAT was in May, you said,
correct, yes.
and that's what, about 1.5 months back. Have you been preparing, or did you take a break, or what is the uh, current
I
stage?
took a brief break for just to unwind and introspect, and
Okay.
then I came back and started a few weeks back, and
Okay.
planning to give it in a month or so.
Okay. All right. See, broadly, for the same person, chances are slightly better in round one compared to round two. Okay. I wouldn't say it's a major difference, but there is a difference. All right.
Hmm.
But if you add the rider that the same person is applying, but with a smaller GMAT in round one and a bigger GMAT in round two, I would say the bigger GMAT in round two will give the person better chances. Okay. So let's keep that aside. Now, assume that you are taking the GMAT in a month, right? And what that will do is hopefully you will have the score increase that you are looking for, and it will also be placing us in August. Okay. What I would say is from that point on, you may have time to put in one or two applications in round one, and the others may move to round two. So be it. Let it be the case. Let the timeline determine your application strategy. There's nothing greater to it. In case the August score doesn't materialize, and let us say you're moving it to September or October, yeah, at
Hmm.
that point you have a choice. Okay. hopefully the September or October score materializes, and that will give you time to put together about 5-6 applications for round 2. Okay. But in case the September-October round also does not materialize, then you have to take a call between choosing a slightly lower ranked set of colleges this year, or probably moving your application to the entire next year. Okay, so that is the thing. So I can see potentially you can have 2 more takes at the GMAT, one next month and one maybe September-October. And after that, only in September-October, you'll come to a major decision point. Right now, you don't have a major decision point. If the GMAT works out, then everything is clear. You finish it between round 1 and round 2. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, got it. So I wanted to ask, right, how big factor is GMAT in, say, especially ISB or top 20 colleges in US?
See, ISB, you're at the border. Okay. A higher GMAT will obviously help. Okay. This is like you come and ask me, hey, Karthik, I want to give you money. Do you want 1,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees? What do you think I will tell you?
1 lakh.
Right. I mean, it's like you're giving me a choice, right? So like that, if you ask ISB, hey, ISB, you know what, this is me, I have a good profile, but then, should I send in my application with a 700 or a 720? They'll say 720, I mean, it's not that you won't get in with a 700, but obviously, if you have a higher score, it is definitely going to help your chances. It will not hurt your chances at all. But right now, let's say you may still get into ISB. For top 20 colleges, I think a higher GMAT is definitely useful.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. So you had another question. What factors should I consider before finalizing a college and country during the brainstorming phase? Can you clarify what you mean by that?
So I'm mainly finalized and fixated on, say, US and India based on my short-term and long-term goals. But I didn't want it to just reject upfront Europe factor, right?
Okay.
As you mentioned, some good colleges in UK or Europe, like UK and France and so on, right? Like INSEAD and Oxford said and so on, right? So I wanted to ask, like, how do we finalize, like, first point, like which score is good enough, right? Because the score, a good score is also a function of which colleges that you choose upon, right, to apply. And which colleges you choose upon is also a function of which score you get, right? It's kind of a loop. So I'm currently
correct.
Yeah,
Let's
right?
see. Just 1 second. I'm trying to open up my notes. And I'm trying to, do you guys know how to hide my folder structure within Apple?
You can share only specific screen. You can just unshare and just share again a specific screen.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, I think I managed to do this. So I'm going to stop share. And then I'm going to share my notes. Okay. All right. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay. So criteria to choose college. All right. So first thing is background. Second thing is goals. Some colleges may be better for some post-MBA goals. Caveat is top 20 to 25 colleges are good for everything. Okay. Then maybe location of family in a certain area. Where do you see yourself living for the next few years, including post-MBA? Background meaning including GMAT. And what is the highest range of colleges that you are likely to get into? Where do you see yourself living in the next few years post-MBA? includes the location of certain companies that you are very interested in. Now, consulting firms are everywhere. But Tesla is only in California, right? Or wherever Elon Musk has chosen. Tesla product design may only be
in US.
Yeah, in certain areas of the US. Certain geographies within the US. Just giving an example, right? Similarly, oil and gas, Texas, or Scandinavia. I don't know how to spell Scandinavia. Can someone help me? Scandinavia. Yeah. All right. So I think these are some of the main criteria that come to mind as you choose your colleges. And there can always be other things that come in as well. And we can look into it as we, get to the shortlisting phase. Does that make sense?
Yeah, got it. Thanks, Karthik.
Yeah. Now, somebody has a question. If a 1-year European MBA is a target, which is the better option for a 10-year work experience candidate, a full-time MBA or an executive MBA? I would actually need a little bit more information, to understand what kind of experience this person has for the last 10 years. I think this is somebody either through LinkedIn or maybe through the WhatsApp group. I'm not sure if this person is with us at this point. I'm not able to get a clarification on this. But see, typically what happens is when someone has 10 years of full-time experience and has gotten into the mid-management level, right? If they are at the mid-management level, then I would recommend that they go for an exec MBA, right? But let us say if someone has 10 years of experience, but they are in the military sector trying to get back into civilian sector, all right? So what they're going to do is they've gained a lot of leadership abilities and skills, and they are well-rounded people, but they are moving from one industry sector to another industry sector. It's not just about moving from military to civilian sector. It's also about moving from pivoting from any career to any other career, right? Under such situations, a full-time MBA may be more valuable. But as the 10 years becomes 15 years, even under these circumstances, the full-time MBA may not be a fit for this particular candidate, right? So if you look at most regular MBA programs, the range of experience is typically between 2 years and let's say 11 to 13 years, all right? So 2 years at the lower side and 13 years on the higher side. This is what they call the middle 80%. There are outliers. You have people who are almost close to 39, 40 also who get into regular MBA programs, even at colleges like Stanford. But these are outliers. You can't make a plan based on that. Typically, if you're more than 15, it's clear. It's an exec MBA. If you're less than 10, it's clear. It's a regular MBA. Between 10 to 15, it's very circumstantial, and it really depends on your background, your motivations and goals, and the fit. The basic idea is if you move from one profession to another, your circumstances are going to change because you're going to be starting as a fresher, which means you will be making the same salary that a fresher is, not something that a 10-year plus candidate makes. Your manager may be younger than you. You may be expected to work on weekends, which typically somebody who has 10 years of experience, they have a family and all that. And, their life is, they start worrying about work-life balance and those kinds of things. So you have to consider those fit issues as you make the transition, okay? An executive MBA is straightforward. You're continuing in the same trajectory, but you're trying to get a promotion in the same industry sector, right? So that's a no-brainer. So yeah, always feel free to get in touch and we can discuss your specific situation. I've given a broad-based answer to this question, interpreting it in a very broad manner, but individual circumstances will vary, right? Harshit has a question. What fellowships can be considered as part of extracurricular section and not educational? Harshit, can you clarify this? What do you mean by fellowships here? If you're speaking, you're on mute, Harshit. Harshit, are you with us? Okay, I'm going to take a stab at this answer. I'm assuming you mean something like a Teach for India fellowship, all right? A Teach for India fellowship would be proper work experience, okay? If you get some scholarship in college, that would be part of your educational experience. Now, typically when you're working full-time or studying full-time, and then you've done something along the side. So I think make a difference comes in this category typically, all right? I wouldn't call make a difference a fellowship, so I'm not sure what you mean by a fellowship in that extracurricular sense, but assuming you mean some contribution in the nonprofit sector while you're studying full-time or working full-time, that would be extracurriculars, okay? All right, how can we compensate if we have lesser work experience? Azam, are you with us? Can you clarify the question? Okay, Azam, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Okay, I'm going to take a stab at this. See, the idea is if you have less than 2 years of work experience, there's no way you can compensate for it. You can consider applying to an early entry program. So ISB has the EEO. If you're still in college, you can consider applying to a deferred entry program, which means you apply to business school right now. And then what happens is they make a decision on whether to admit you or not. And if they make a decision to admit you, it will be under the condition that you get 2 years of work experience, and then you come back and you have a confirmed offer to join the business school. So Stanford has a program along those lines. ISB again has a program along those lines. Yale has a program. Most top schools have programs along those lines. All right. So you can apply when you're in college. You can apply for early entry options when you have less than 2 years of work ex. Again, the condition being that you will finish your 2 years of work ex and then join. But in case you're looking at a regular MBA program and you have less than 2 years of work ex, see, unless you've done something stellar, let's say in the extracurricular world, or I mean, that's all I can think of really. Because in terms of work experience, the first year is usually a traineeship or apprenticeship period. You know, I mean, if you're an engineer, any company that you join will call you a graduate engineer trainee or a software engineer trainee or a mechanical engineer trainee or, you know, a customer service representative trainee or whatever it is. The first year is a trainee period. The second year is when you start working by yourself independently, taking some minor instructions from your teammate, right? So typically you don't have the opportunity to make huge contributions in the workplace if it is a corporate setting in the first 2 years, right? And as a result, only because of the way our corporate life is structured, you will not have a lot of accomplishments that you can talk about. And because of that, you know, you may not have a compelling application when you apply. If you've done something extraordinary in the extracurricular space, then yes, that can still help you apply. I've not seen that so far in the 10 years that I've been in business, but I'm ready to be surprised, right? So that's one thing. And definitely have a good GMAT. I mean, that goes without saying. Many school decides when did we realize we should go for MBA, why, what they want to know in it. I don't think many schools want to know when you realize you should go for an MBA. But the basic idea is the way Indian colleges think is different from the way foreign colleges think. Okay, in India, you take the CAT, you get a very good CAT score, and then you apply, and then you're called for an interview based on your CAT score and plus your extracurricular profile. But there is no expectation that the extracurricular profile is as strong as what a Western college would expect you to have. All right. Like that, Western colleges, they have a different way of selecting candidates. And one of the things that they think is important is that you have career clarity. Okay, what do they mean by career clarity? That you really have the need and the desire to do an MBA, and you have the right aptitude and skill set to be successful in a post-MBA profession, right? So they want to make sure that you are the kind of person who's done your introspection, which means you have a certain level of maturity. Okay. So think of it this way. It's not even that they care when you decided to do an MBA or why you want to do an MBA. It's like they want to know that you understand that for yourself, that you really need an MBA and you're not just doing it because you want a better salary, which is why, most Indian kids do it. All right. Nothing wrong in doing an MBA for a better salary, but there are many things you can do for a better salary. You can get into Bollywood, you can get into sports, So among all these other things, and there are some technology professions who make a lot of money as well, maybe not immediately, but 10 years later. All right. So a lot of software architects probably make in excess of 60, 70 lakhs an annum. So when a technology professional can do it, why would you want to become a manager to do it, right? So they want to know that you're choosing this for the right reasons and not for the wrong reasons. Okay. All right. So Tanveer.
Hi, Karthik.
Yes, Azam.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I wasn't able to respond earlier.
Okay.
Thank you for answering my questions. So I have one more question I posted, but I don't know, due to some reasons, it's not being reflected here. So I would be very grateful if you would care to answer that as well.
Sure.
So,
can I take Tanveer's question and can you just type it in, because we are going to transcribe this and
Yeah,
it helps
actually-
if we can. Yeah.
Actually, I typed it in the Slido, but I don't know, due to some reasons, it's not being reflected.
No, I understand. If it's just like a short sentence, do you mind typing it again?
Okay, I will type it again. Let's see if it comes up here.
But in case you're unable to one more time, I'll take your question after Tanveer's question. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so Tanveer has a question. Would the experience between the date of completion of my CA articleship and the date I passed my CA final exam be counted for ISB PGP MBA? Okay, this is a very short answer, Tanveer. This is a question that is more relevant for the ISB admissions committee. I think they have a lot of webinars, all right? If they haven't started it already, they will start it very shortly, and they'll have something, every week or something. So my suggestion is that you get in touch with them, and their answer is the final answer. Okay. Now you have another question, Tanveer, and that question is as follows: ISB PGP MBA is my main focus. I want to know what aspects should I look at other MBA programs to suit my post-MBA goals. I intend to continue my family business. When you say what aspects you should look at, what do you mean by that, Tanveer?
Hi, for ISB PGP, the main reason why I'm targeting ISB PGP MBA is it'll give me an opportunity to learn in the Indian environment, and I'll get the advantage of networking. Now, if I'm preparing for GMAT and then I'm keenly looking to get an admit at any of the good MBA colleges, I cannot lock my option just to ISB PGP MBA. So I want to consider what other good colleges I should actually consider apart from the ISB PGP MBA, and what aspects should I look at in other MBA colleges? The aspects in the sense the best advantages of joining that particular school. That is exactly what I mean. I hope you got my question.
Sort of. Let's try the notes one more time.
Okay.
Okay, people can see. Tanveer, can you see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
Keep in mind when choosing a college. Actually, it's the same thing as what I put up earlier. What is important to you? Tell me.
See, basically, as I am not looking to get hired into any other reputed companies or so. What I want to do is I want to gain that exclusive skill sets to enhance my leadership skills, and also align my mindset to the with the top candidates that are there. So yeah, in case my managerial skills, and yeah, maybe that's what I'm looking at exactly.
Okay.
Learning a lot so that maybe, I avoid the mistakes and, compress my learning curve so that I avoid my mistakes, whatever I would do if I don't do an MBA. That is what I'm looking at
Okay.
in an MBA program.
All right. Gaining skill sets and leadership. So that's broadly it, right?
And how else in whatever areas and how much could I add the value to what I'm presently doing? That is major. Those are the major
Adding
things.
value to your family business, right? Is that what you have in mind?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No, nothing as of now. Nothing as of, these are the main things.
Okay. See, the basic idea is this. Whatever you're telling me is all the benefits that any business school in the top will give you. Okay. We're looking at any college in the top 20 or 25. The education is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. I can tell you, I've personally visited about 15 colleges in the US. Okay, 14 in the US and 1 in Canada. I've studied in another one, right? So I have experience at 15, 16 campuses, let's say. All right. And all of these are fantastic campuses. All of these are ranked within the top 20, 25. All right. So as long as you have the background and the profile and the GMAT to get into a top 20, 25, you don't have to worry too much about all these things because these are going to happen very, very automatically, right? Now, in case you're not able to get the GMAT for this particular set of colleges, right? Let's even say the top 40 is fine. Okay. So top 20. So the top 3 is a bucket, the top 7 is a bucket, the top 10 is a bucket, top 20 is a bucket, top 25 is a bucket, top 40, 50 is a bucket, and then there's 50 plus ranked colleges, right? From 50 to 100, you're still going to be all right with regards to leadership skills and education. They're going to have excellent professors. The textbooks are all the same. What you use at Harvard Business School will be the same thing that will be used at, let's say, Syracuse University. So you're learning from the same textbooks, you're learning the same things, all right? Your network will be different, and that is determined by the entry bar, which the college is setting, right? Is there anything you can do about it? There is nothing you can do about it, okay? The only thing you can do is work hard on your candidature so that you can get into a better network rather than a lesser network. I mean, all said and done, I don't want to make comments like this. I think all people are nice, and it's nice to know people in general. And I don't want to come across and make any judgmental statements here. Okay. Adding value to family business, again, that is a combination of what you have learned plus the kind of network you have, right? What you have learned, like I've told you, it's going to be the same thing across the top 100, right? Provided you do a good job of learning it. With regards to the network, the quality of the network will be different in a top tier school versus like a second tier school versus a third tier school. So that is something that you will have to live with. Okay. Did that answer your question partially at least?
Yeah, partially. Yeah, it did answer my question. I just asked this question mainly because, as I said, I just can't target ISB alone if I intend to apply for the MBA colleges. So in that sense, I had asked my question.
No, I understand. Yeah. I think we'll have a lot more clarity if we have your GMAT and all those things. Yeah. I'm assuming you're in prep for your GMAT. So
yeah, I'm preparing.
Once you're done, please reach out and then we can try to see if we can answer it better. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So Azam, I think this is the question that you had left out earlier. Business schools ask how they can help contribute to post-MBA goals. What should be mentioned apart from their prestige and alumni network? I mean, they may have a certain course structure which will be suitable for you and help you work towards your career goals, right? So that is one possibility. There's certain clubs that will give you access to industry professionals. So typically, these are some things that you can talk about. But I don't think I'll be able to get into a lot of detail about this because this is like a consulting question or a secret sauce question. I mean, once we start working together, we'll definitely get into more depths. But at this point, I can give you a broad answer. We also have another video on our YouTube channel itself where I've discussed how to write a good goals essay. So maybe you can find that, and it's a very popular video. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe these videos. I'll tell you a very simple reason for why. We are a very small business, all right, and believe it or not, marketing is actually very, very costly. It's costly in terms of how much we spend. It's also costly in terms of how much time we spend, right? Any help, we believe in adding value both to the people who have decided to work with us and the people who are, in general, the general public as well. Now, what will happen is we would also like to reach out to as many people as possible and become as visible as possible. And a small like or a share or a subscribe that you give us, either a post on LinkedIn or the video on YouTube, that will help these algorithms think that this is a post that a lot of people are liking, especially people with your background. So not necessarily you or your friends, but somebody else with a similar background will also be able to view the same thing because of the way these algorithms are designed. And this is very helpful to us. So it's a very sincere request. If you guys can like this video on YouTube, or likewise, if you guys can like my posts on LinkedIn, that would be very helpful for us. So yeah, by the way, just refer to that goals video as well. And I think that would be useful because of what you've asked.
Karthik, can you just post that link of that video in the chat?
I will post that link when I do a transcript of this video. Yeah, but right now, if you search for it, it's there in our August Academy channel on YouTube. Okay. In the notes details for this particular video also, I will post it, but you can search it. You can just search August Academy goals and you'll find it. Yeah?
Okay.
If you can't find it in our normal search, you will have to do the more complicated thing of going to our channel itself, looking at our past videos. It was a live video. So yeah, sure. Go to our live section and then you can find it.
Yeah. Okay. If it's there, I will.
Sure. Yeah. Somebody else has a question. How much weightage do B schools give to the GPA? Minus 3.07 in BE. I also have a PG diploma. Both my colleges are not renowned or typical feeders. All right. See, the basic idea is I don't know how you got to the 3.07 number because most Indian colleges either give you a GPA out of 10.0 or they give a percentage out of 100. All right. So the first thing that I can tell you is please do not convert something from a 10.0 scale to a 4.0 scale or a 100 scale to a 4.0 scale. All right. Because the answers you're going to get are not suitable. All right. Let me tell you. A 70% out of 100 is not bad, right? I mean, I don't think this person is going to do a PhD at Harvard or Stanford, but I mean, a 70% is a very good percentage to have. All right. Again, it's not like you're like one of those studious people, but you're like this above average person in college, right? But if you convert a 70% to a 4.0 scale, you're going to get 2.8. All right. Anything below 3 on a 4.0 scale is very bad. All right. So a 2.8 is borderline failing, but a 70% is first class, or, it's almost distinction, right? So you can't take a score that is a distinction in one grading system and make it a failing grade in another grading system simply because you did not convert it the right way. So the first request I would have is please do not convert. If at all you want somebody to convert it for you, there's a service called World Education Services, so you can give it to them. You will have to pay them, of course, $250 or something, and then they will do the conversion for you, in the way it's supposed to be done properly, right? But directly answering your question, business schools may not give a lot of weightage to a foreign college GPA. They will give adequate weightage to a college that is well known. So if you're from an IIT, or if you're from Ashoka, or if you're from BITS, these are colleges that are well known and they have a very good understanding of how solid the GPAs from these colleges are. Of course, US colleges will have a very solid understanding of how US colleges grade, right? And European colleges will have a very solid understanding of how European colleges grade. So in their locality, they will have a very good understanding of how much weightage to give to those GPAs. In a foreign locality, if the college is universally known, they will know how much weightage to give. Otherwise, they may not give it that much weightage. They will give a lot of weightage to the GMAT, right? If it's a top 5 program that you're applying to, then regardless of whether or not they know your college, they are going to give some weightage to your GPA. All right, top 5, top 7. All right, I think that was the last question on Slido. Does anybody have anything else pending? All right, I'm assuming that's pretty much it. So people, thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a small question.
Yes, Tanir, please. Yeah.
So people people usually apply 4 to 5 colleges or maybe around 10 colleges. So what is this, as in to be in the 10 bracket range, or just consider 5 good colleges and then apply to those? What do you suggest? Some people apply to 10, 15 colleges also. So
it all depends on how precise your shortlist is. Okay. So if your shortlist is very precise, then you can just apply to 3 or 4 colleges and be done with it.
Okay.
But if your shortlist is not precise, then you need to apply to 10 to 20 colleges. Okay. So the basic idea is, if you're a good sniper, do you play any of those games, Call of Duty, etc.?
Yeah.
If you're a very good sniper, 2-3 bullets should do the trick. If you're not a good sniper, then you need a machine gun.
Okay.
You get the analogy?
Yeah, we get it. I got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So
sorry, Karthik, just one question. So just building on what Tanvir asked, basically you're saying that you need to apply to a lot of colleges if you're not too sure about what you are targeting and what you want on, etc., etc. But with that also, we can determine some range, like by seeing the kind of profiles they have. Won't that help?
We'll definitely be able to help you with it. I think my answer was, if Tanvir were to decide by himself, then what is the kind of approach he should take? But we have a good idea of a lot of different kinds of profiles. And occasionally there is somebody who reaches out to us who has a very unique profile, and that'll be like a first time we are also doing that. But for the most part, you can assume that we work with every different kind of applicant from every different kind of industry and background. So we can help with your fitment, definitely. Yeah. But in case you decided to do it by yourself, then it's a question of how broad versus how narrow, and that depends on how much surety you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. So thanks a lot for joining, everyone. So I'll just make like a final 2-minute request, and then I'll close our call. This video is going to be hosted live on YouTube, provided that streaming went properly. All right. And what we will do is we will split it up into small chapters, and we will take these questions and copy that into the time link. All right. So that somebody can just click on this question and then they can go to that particular part of the video. So if you're watching this at a later date on YouTube, you can just click on whatever question that is more relevant to you. And then, you can step to that part of the video. So that's one thing for you to know. And then the second thing is, my major request is, small company, that is us. And we are trying to reach out to more people. So please tell your friends about us. When you talk to them, somebody else may be applying for MBA. So, help them become familiar with our brand. And, just do that simple like, share, subscribe on this and on my posts on LinkedIn. For somebody who's attending this, who's not familiar with August Academy, we have a WhatsApp group for applicants. So if you want to join it, please send me a message. You can send me an email and I can add you to our group. Apart from that, I'm on LinkedIn and I post, 3-4 times a week. So, you can follow me on LinkedIn as well. So just search for Karthik Palaniappan and then you'll find me. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. This was our first Zoom Hangout for this year. And we plan to have something every other Tuesday, same time. So feel free to join us again, and all the best with your GMATs, GREs, applications, whatever stage of the application stage you're in. If you feel like you want to reach out for more personalized help, by all means, please feel free to do so. All right, guys. Thank you.